Rating every single concealer I own. Haven't done this in a while with my concealer, so I thought I'd do an updated version, and this is just part 1 of the concealers I could find. Let's get started. This is the Kosas concealer, and in my opinion, the shade range for this runs so yellow. Can't personally find a shade that like matches my skin tone perfectly. That being said, the coverage is pretty good and it layers really well with my other products. But this smells kind of bad, and I think of that one TikTok that says like the Kosas concealer grows mold after a month, and that kind of scared me a bit. Overall, it's a good formula but a bad smell, and I don't really reach for this because the shades don't really match me perfectly. So we have the Dior concealer, and if you guys have been watching me for a while, this used to be like my #1 holy grail concealer. Honestly, since then, I don't reach for it as much. I found that the smell has been really bothering me lately. It does have like a florally perfumey smell. I've been more sensitive to scents lately, so it's not really something I've been reaching for. And also the shade is too light for me, which is another reason I don't reach for it. Overall, it's a good concealer. It lasts forever, but I found concealers that I like better. Next up, we have the Ilia concealer. Now, this is honestly a pass for me because I find that it creases a lot on my face. Besides the fact that it's a little too yellow for my skin tone, I found the formula to be really drying for me, especially on top of the fact that I already have like really dry skin. Definitely a pass and not something that I reach for. The Saie concealer, on the other hand, is so incredibly glowy, but for some reason the formula runs so orangey for me. Like, they sent me so many shades, but I could not find my perfect match. However, I would say this is definitely a light coverage concealer, so if you're looking to cover up pimples and acne scars, I would reach for another one besides this. Even though this concealer I think is good, it's definitely for natural makeup looks and something that I do not reach for every day. I honestly can't remember the last time I used this concealer, so there are definitely better ones in my opinion. Okay, moving on to my holy grail, this is the Haus Labs concealer. Now, this one looks like so dirty and beat up, but I literally have 3 more. These are like slightly different shades, but I kid you not, this is my all-time favorite concealer at the moment. I use it every single day. It is so perfect for dry skin. It covers everything. It doesn't crease or clump under your eyes. It layers perfectly with my other products, and it has the perfect glowy finish. Guys, genuinely, like, I have nothing bad to say about this concealer. It's my #1 concealer, even surpassed my Natasha Denona one, which I used to use 24/7. So if you're on the market for a new concealer, please, like, genuinely, the shade range for this is so good as well. I am a neutral girly, so there are so many neutral shades for me to choose from. It's like hard to choose the exact one because I feel like honestly like 4 shades could suit me. That's why I have a lot of shades too, but low-key, like, all of these bottles are running out just because I use this every day. Okay, up next, we have this Refy concealer. To be honest, there's nothing really special about this formula. I never reach for it because the shade is way too light for me, but whenever I do use it, I find it to be really flaky and dry under my eyes. It's just honestly not that special, and it might have been because the shade was too light, but I found that it actually accentuated my eye bags instead of hiding them. So I definitely do not reach for this. Not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but next we have the same concealer. This is a concealer I got from YesStyle. This is a really good color corrector concealer. I gave another one of these to my friend and she absolutely swears by it. This is a really good and cheap option, especially if you were looking to color correct. However, I don't think the shade range is very diverse, and this might be the only shades they have, or one darker, I'm not sure. But for this concealer, it's really only good for spot concealing and using a small amount, because I think as soon as you use a little too much of this, it's gonna look cakey and patchy on your skin. So for that reason, I do have other concealers I prefer better. Okay, next we have the Armani concealer, and I honestly have nothing bad to say about this concealer. This shade matches me perfectly. Formula is also lightweight and it doesn't patch at all. It has like a serum-like formula that I really like and something I would recommend for natural makeup days. Definitely a good option, but not something I reach for every day because I have concealers I prefer over this one. Okay, next is the Natasha Denona concealer. Now, this and the Haus Labs would probably be my top 2 concealers of all time. I'm N7 in this concealer and the formula is so amazing. It's glowy, it covers everything, it doesn't crease or patch. Like, this genuinely is such an amazing formula. I would say this formula is most similar to the Tower 28 concealer, but that concealer broke me out, so I used this one instead, and I think it's like so similar. Definitely recommend this if you are a dry and sensitive skin girly because this is genuinely one of my holy grails. Okay, next we have these Haus Labs concealers. The regular one, this is the color corrector. Now, these are really good and extremely high coverage. However, I don't reach for them because I prefer the other concealers better. If you are really into full glam, full face makeup looks, I definitely recommend this. And this peachy shade I found also really matches me well. but it's just not a concealer that I reach for every day. Next is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Concealer. Guys, I have been wanting to try this concealer for so long, and when I finally got to choose my own shades and try it in the Too Faced headquarters, genuinely, like, I loved the formula. I was so obsessed with it. However, I'm not sure if it was because I was on my period when I was using this, but it broke me out so bad. Or I started getting a ton of pimples at that time, and when I stopped using it, the pimples went away. I do want to try this again because I feel like it was just because I was on my period. But besides that, I love the formula, I love the shade range for me. The thing I complain about is sometimes it's a little hard to pick up product with the applicator, but I think I'm just doing it wrong. But yeah, let me know if this concealer has breaking you out because I'm a little scared to use it again just for that reason, but it is a really good formula. But yeah, guys, that is part 1 of rating all my concealers. Let me know if you want a part 2 or you want me to rate some other makeup products. Bye, guys.